We are live. Come here with our brand new Stir the Pod podcast show. I'm your host, Trevor, and tonight we are joined by Andy. Andy, how are you doing tonight?
What up? What up?
And we are back with a brand new Stir. Oh wait, who is this? Andy, who is this guy?
I'm not sure.
Is this someone from? Is this Kenny from the Redemption House?
It's one of those like bloodlines kind of deals where he must be related to one of us and just bring it on for a season, bring on for an episode, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. What's that say? Alex, how are you doing tonight?
Yo.
And we are here, episode, what is this, 14? Episode 14 recap show. Boys, I believe last episode I said, I can't believe this person cried in this many scenes. Did we break that tonight with Josh?
It was a stellar performance from the Goof. It was just like, was this the most Josh episode of all time?
Yes, I think it was.
You think about the subpar performance in the daily and the elimination and the just crying. He lost the daily, lost the elimination, cried throughout the entire time in between. That's Josh.
I mean, it was his worst performance since, what was the one where he had to throw like the medicine ball and he couldn't break the glass?
He won that.
I know.
People forget that.
I mean, just an emotional filled Josh episode tonight. Alex, thoughts?
I mean, I agree. I agree with what Andy said. I think the thought crossed my mind while watching this. Well, the reason why I like tonight's episode, and maybe even why I like this whole season, is I feel like a lot of these cast members have been like the most them versions of themselves. Like, I feel like tonight was a very Josh performance. It was a very Corey episode. Bananas has been like so bananas-y all season. Like, I feel like this, I don't know if it's because it's season 40 and they know it's a big one, so they kind of have to like play into their characters a little bit more or whatever it is. But like, I feel like that's been kind of maybe like a subtle theme of season 40 is everybody's kind of been leaning into like their characters, their stereotypes. And I feel like we got that tonight with Josh, Corey, Bananas, Rachel, like all of these people. I really enjoyed this tonight.
Well, what'd you think about last week's episode? Have you even seen the last week's episode?
Last week's episode I thought was okay. The podcast was just incredible. It was amazing. I'm so pissed I had to miss it. I was literally at a work dinner during it, and it was on the West Coast. So it was like 3 hours behind. So I was at this dinner. I get the YouTube notification that it's started and it goes live, and you're at like a dinner, so you're not trying to like check your phone constantly or anything. But like 10 minutes go by and I'm like, all right, let me just check in, make sure like it's working and everything. I pull it up. I see you, Trev, doing a solo pod. And now I'm just confused. I'm like, what's going on? I had let you know that I wasn't going to be able to make it. And so I'm just like, all right, I'm kind of like confused, but I watched for like 10 seconds, put my phone back down. Another 20 minutes go by, and I take out my phone again just to see, like, is the podcast still going? What's going on? I pull it up expecting to see you either solo or with Andy. I pull it up and I see a full-on quad box. I see Tommy Tsunami. I see McCord in there. And at that point, like literally right when I pulled up the YouTube stream, I couldn't help myself. And my jaw just drops. And I'm kind of just staring at it in amazement to the point where like a couple, people sitting around me were like, is everything okay? Like, did you just get bad news? What's going on? And I was just like, oh yeah, I'm good. And I like put my phone away, and I just was kind of in shock for like the next hour. And then I watched the podcast, listened to it. It was a Hall of Fame episode.
Wow. Glad to hear you liked it.
I didn't. I loved it.
Oh, come on. There's our soda. Missed that last week. Love to hear that back.
So we also now know where it's coming from, Trev.
Clearly, yes. I mean, it's not like we didn't know. No issues last week. Soda boy over here. I mean, what soda are you drinking, Alex?
It always happens within the first 6 minutes, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you were solo for the first like 10, 15 minutes.
No, it's Trev. He always likes those Mountain Dew Code Reds.
He's probably getting a little XP on the soda cans and stuff. Oh my god. All right. So let's dive right into tonight's episode. We got Tommy Tsunami, Mikey the Doctor. It looked like McCord was in here for a little bit. Before we start, what does this say? Trivia question for SDP. Who was Josh's only win against? Who was it against?
I know the answer.
Do you?
Yes. It was the medicine ball one.
Yeah, I don't know who he beat.
He beat a Javi named Michi.
Who?
Exactly.
Michi
Was he a wrestler?
No, that was
It was someone with a name that I kept fucking up. I remember that.
oh, I know who you're talking. That wrestler quit because he grew up in like foster homes, right?
That sounds right.
Leo. Wasn't it Leo?
Yes.
Rio.
No, God damn it.
All right.
Leo Green, right?
God.
We'll get into it. All right, tonight's episode. Let's get back on the tracks. The streak. You know, I know Alex is against the streak. Andy's even against the streak. But Tommy Tsunami and his streak, I mean, just incredible. I don't know.
Wow. That's the disrespect.
What do you mean?
The
It's Tommy's
disrespect.
streak. I thought Tommy came up with the streak.
Tommy has been saying that.
Hasn't he, Alex?
Yes.
Watch it.
For years.
God.
Tsunami's been saying that for weeks.
For months, years.
Tsunami did the fabled take someone else's LVP pick.
Yeah. Classic mix up. Tommy doesn't even know what the streak is. That's the best part. The streak continues, and we even got a sneak peek at the streak at the end of tonight's episode, too. Not to jump too far ahead. I don't know if anybody else noticed that tonight. And then before we go to the daily, I mean, you can kind of see in the house the divide. I mean, it's a clear divide now. And I feel like this is the part in the game which I love the most, where there is a clear divide and people are just taking shots left and right now. Thoughts on the divide at anything? Like, do we think one side's stronger than the other, or do you think it's pretty even across the board?
I feel like the Bananas Angels alliance is probably the strongest connected and also the strongest. I'm interested though, Trev, because you mentioned that this was one of your favorite things.
Gerb?
Gerb is a little strong, but I feel like we are at a point in the season, maybe the past like 2-3 episodes, where one of the weak links of like each specific episode is that you kind of know who everybody's riding with. So it does take a little bit of the suspense out of like, who's this person going to vote for and everything. I mean, it makes like the dailies much more interesting because you're invested in who's going to win or who's going to lose. But I feel like the decision making is a little more like telegraphed. You know what's going to happen. But you really like it.
I do. I like straightforward, go across. And I think, like you said, I think it's kind of fair. I do give the advantage to Bananas. Andy, any thoughts on the both sides or no?
I like the line in the sand. I think it makes for an entertaining dynamic. The only thing I don't like is the perfect line in the sand season for me is Fresh Meat 2. It was Kenny versus Wes, and the reason why I think it worked out so great is those were the two alpha dogs in the house.
Mm-hmm.
We are kind of missing that in this season because you have Bananas and you have like the other side of the line in the sand, and then you have Jordan right in the middle. Like the best way for me to draw this line in the sand would be Bananas to have his alliance, Jordan to have his alliance, and them to be actively going against each other. We don't have that this season because Jordan's just kind of playing like the Landon in Fresh Meat 2, which is not a bad way to approach it. And he's playing a great season, but it just makes for the Team A versus Team B to lose a little bit when one of the top two players in the game is not on either side.
Yeah. So, Andy, wouldn't you say you got 3 types of groups? You got Bananas Angels, you got Tori's Minions, and then there's just like Corey on his own island.
Yes. Then you have the outcasts, as I like to call them.
Just like this, right?
Just like this.
3 groups.
Not this.
Not that. No.
This.
3 groups. All right. Oh my god. All right. Let's talk about the daily. I thought this was a fun daily. I would love to do this. They're on these semi trucks, semi trucks, and they're swinging back and forth, trying to knock off. All you got to do is hit these little targets, and you're just jumping back and forth, back and forth. I don't know about you guys, but it kind of gave me Mario Party vibes. Like, you know, the one where they're kind of like, you're like floating in the air and you're trying to like hit the circles and stuff.
Yes.
I think if I can recall, that one is called like Target Tag.
That was this.
It was like, you know, where they're like floating, trying to hit the targets. I mean, I'm just saying, I know we've said it a million times, but I really think one of the producers was just sitting behind their son or daughter playing Mario Party and just started, "Ooh, I like that idea," and just wrote it down on like on a pad or something.
I agree. And you know what? I'm in. Like,
wow.
This season has been based off Mario Party.
It's bananas.
Sign me up.
When do you think so Andy, would you say, I know you're the biggest Mario Party fanatic here. Do you think this whole like element twist at the end, you know, what's the twist called? They're writing like the notes and all, what the point system?
Karma vote.
Karma votes. You think this could be very like dark star?
I think it's kind of like bonus stars.
Oh.
At the end, when everything's already been played out, the bonus stars factor in, which sometimes could make or break everything. It could determine who has a shot at their share of $1 million.
Oh, come on. Alex, thoughts on the daily tonight?
I liked it. I thought it was okay. I will say, I feel like this is a format that's we don't talk about enough. I feel like we always talk about the challenge repeating the apparatus above water, which weirdly they haven't done a lot this season, but they do that, you know, pretty much every episode for the past 20 years. But I do feel like every single season they have a challenge like this where it's like long highway, semis, you're on top of it, you're doing something. The one that always sticks out to me was X's 2. They did one really late, and I think Zach, I just remember Zach and John A like fucked it up, and Zach's like literally punching like the styrofoam wall on the side of it. Like that always sticks out to me. I feel like this like format of a daily is like kind of a staple late in the season, and I feel like it's always good but never really great.
Interesting. Very interessante, as I always say.
It just like it wasn't that fun to watch. They're just like jumping off the side and hitting the thing. It's very repetitive.
I kind of bulged at it.
I agree. It seemed like definitely one of those things that watching it was fun the first time, but then it got old pretty quick. But doing it would be very fun. Mm-hmm. One thing that I did enjoy about it and we do not get this often, it was very clear to know who was winning and who was losing. That is a rarity in today's challenge. Like, we knew exactly what was happening, and I was in for that.
That's true.
Yeah. I think it was the closest daily of all time. Wait. I need somebody in the chat too, and maybe Alex or Andy. I'm not sure if you guys caught this or not. But didn't Aviv and Tori both get 2? How did Aviv finish last?
There have been rumors about that. I've seen it circulating. So if anybody in the chat has seen any answers or explanations to that, please let us know.
I thought Aviv definitely got last.
I thought they both had 2 though.
There are screen grabs of them both having 2 out of 12.
Kind of sketch.
It is kind of sketch.
Interessante.
So then, before I announce the winners, sudden death. I mean, honestly, and Andy, you're the betting guy. Jordan to win in this daily, what would you rate that at? Before.
Well, I mean, you got to factor in the fact that Derek just went 12 for 12 as well.
No. Before it even started.
Like, if you were to say before round 1,
yeah,
that it was going to end up being just Derek versus Jordan.
No. Before it even started, Jordan to win outright.
Before sudden death, he means.
Before sudden death, yes. Because what I'm getting at is I want the pre-odds, and then the championship round odds is what I want.
So Jordan would be probably, with everyone factored in?
Yep.
Plus 100. I don't think you can give minus money with this many people. Plus 100, I bet Derek would slide in at like plus 650. Going into sudden death,
yes.
I think it's both minus 110.
Oh, wow.
I really do. I mean, Derek went 12 for 12. Like, it'd be one thing if they both got tied at they both got 10, but when you both go 12 for 12, you have to respect it. It's very IU football is 10-0. They're undefeated. You can't knock somebody because they've done perfect. You can't say, well, because of the brand, because this is Derek and this is Jordan should be favored. No. That's not how this bookmaker works. I've seen what you put on tape. It's been phenomenal. And I'm going to put you on level playing field as someone else who's done the exact same.
Florida State last year, ?
Jordan Travis was out.
Oh, come on.
It's a Heisman top 5.
God. I mean, it was good. It was a good battle between Derek and Jordan, and Jordan lost by a finger. So that was a Bananas tweet, I believe, tonight. So I had to throw that in.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was. So for the guys, Derek won, and then for the girls, Rachel won. And then for last place, we had Josh, what do you think the odds of Josh finishing last were? I saw, I think it was Mikey the Doctor wrote that question earlier tonight. Andy, what do you think the odds of Josh finishing last before?
So Josh had finished last. I mean, you got to think of the rest of the pack. We're at the point now where we got some pretty good competitors. And even someone like Derek.
You had it plus 650.
Yeah. I mean, Josh would definitely be behind that. I would say he was definitely in last place at plus probably 900. So for him to finish last, I think you could modestly put it minus 200.
Ooh. I mean,
maybe even more, maybe minus 350.
I mean, plus 900 for him to win. I mean, I think it would have been plus 9,000.
He is just a big goof swinging around.
He kind of reminded me of, in Mario Party when you hit the wrong button and it glitches out for a second. It's wah, or whatever. He's just going. That was kind of the vibe I got the entire way.
Like when you run into like a spiky thing and it kind of like you're in like half invisible while it slides to the
Yeah,
left
yeah,
and
yeah.
right.
Exactly. It's like, and you're like tapping to get back in the game, but you're not ready
It
yet.
won't recognize you tapping it for like another second.
Exactly. That's the whole vibe I got with what's it called? Josh tonight. So, like we said, Josh finishes last and Aviv finishes last for the girls, which we talked about. Still have no idea how
Some
Aviv with
content.
2 and
Yeah.
Tori with 2. Very sketch with that. So then we go back to the house. I'm kind of interested to hear your guys' opinion of our newest competitor in the house, Carl. Let's hear it.
I'm just out on Carl. I'm out on it pretty much any time they do this. I feel like they've done this maybe 3, 4, 5 times. I feel like Tori is a prime culprit. She's always like dressing up as other people, and they have like the names. I think they did that on Dirty 30, maybe another season, and I'm just out for it. Which like it's just not that funny.
Correct.
It's not funny at all.
That's what it boils down to. It's just not funny.
I will say there was one smirky moment, and I don't know if you guys picked it up, is when Carl was at the bar and they were whispering and you couldn't hear, and they kind of had like the little subtitles.
And
And they didn't put Carl, they put Carl. I'm not gonna lie, that gave me a little chuckle.
That was a little smirky.
There are like I think there are funnier ways to pull this off. Like I always remember it's not the exact same because it wasn't like a costume or anything, but I always remember on Rivals when Kenny in one of his confessionals was Kenny Maria, and he had like like red extensions and he was like rubbing them and talking about his horse. Like that's funny. When you're making fun of like other challengers, like I feel like maybe Bananas has done that in the past. I don't know, but if Bananas did like was dressed up as Wes or something and was acting like that would be funny. Cara Maria putting on a black afro and a mustache, like that's just not funny. Which like there's ways to make it funny, and it was just a swing and a miss. I'm out on Carl.
Agreed.
Sorry, I was reading the comments there. I actually kind of want to know this. Corey played college football.
Josh threw that out there.
I think it was JUCO.
Yeah, where?
Or just like intramurals.
I think he played at the University of Michigan. But I'm not I'm not positive. I thought he played there.
University of Michigan, like there it is.
God, somebody's got to look that up. I have no idea.
Why don't one of us tweet at Corey? Have any of us had any sort of Twitter interactions with Corey at all?
Instagram.
God, Alex, you just seem like a privileged dude.
Yeah, with a name like Alex, might as well be Corey.
Oh, all right. Adamito said he played football at Grand Rapids Community College.
That can't be right.
What were they? The Rush? Like, God, Grand Rapids Community College. That's not real. I just asked ChatGPT. Alex, what do you got for us? Where do you play college football?
I can't find it.
You actually can?
No, I don't think he did.
There's no way they would keep that in there.
I mean, who said it? Wasn't it Josh?
Yeah.
Josh is a certified idiot.
That's true.
God. All right.
Wait. Corey, the football star, lost his athletic scholarship from Ohio Dominican University due to a pregnancy scare with the girl he was dating.
Oh, come on.
I fucking remember that. That was like a mini storyline on The Real World. Like on like his intro, like about him and everything. I remember because of course there's he didn't go to college, so he played it up like he was going to be a star at Ohio Dominican. but I kind of remember that he couldn't go because of that.
You guys don't know the Ohio Dominican Panthers that well? I'm looking up this roster now. What year would have he been there? 2015?
He was born in 91, so he's 3 years older than me. So it would have been like
This says he was a senior in high school in 09.
Yeah, tried like 2010, 2011-ish.
Well, the roster only goes down to 2011. Oh, God. I'm not seeing anything. I'm on 2011.
I think we're pretty positive he did not actually play college football. Yeah, I'm reading straight from our guy Alan Aguirre. Corey played Fringe D1 college football. He gave up his scholarship due to pregnancy scare that a crazy ex-girlfriend lied to him about.
Wow.
Corey always knows how to pick them.
His biggest strengths on these challenges has been his dick strength. In 4 seasons of MTV, he's had sex with 5 girls already, on pace for 1.25 girls a season, and no current sign of slowing down. He's hooked up with old and new.
Jesus Christ.
Didn't him and Anissa have a little ting going on? That's when you know it's just bad.
He had to go away a long time after that.
Yeah, get checked. I honestly has anyone asked if Anissa's pregnant?
Come on.
All right, where are we at? Are we at the club?
Yeah. Well, I was looking for Corey's football stats and I can't find anything.
All right,
I'm actually disappointed. All right, Alex, you take it away here for a little bit. I want to look into this.
All right. So Derek and Rachel win. Josh gets last place. We go back to the house. We already talked about Carl. We go to the club. Nothing crazy from the club. You didn't have bananas, pointing for the cameras to film him and everything like that. And it, like I said earlier, it was pretty easy to see what was going to happen. It was going to end up being Corey voted in by Rachel. I feel like the other thing we have to mention before we get into the elimination, and this was, for me, I don't know about you guys, this for me was the highlight of the episode, was the Nelly T FaceTime. Just incredible. It was, I believe, right after commercial. So you come back with Challenge comes back from commercial, and you just go right back into Nelly T FaceTime. What do we think?
I disagree that it was the highlight of the episode for me. I think it was a highlight of the season.
Oh, come on.
He was wearing a Nelly T jacket
with a Nelly T LED sign on the wall behind him.
He was flaunting his stub, which, like, good for him. He is a true one of one on the challenge. And I mean one of one within all 40 seasons, the hundreds of people that we've seen. Nelly T is one of one. That is very rare.
Every single thing about that scene was incredible. Even just to start, when they show him on the FaceTime, and then Corey has a confessional where he says, like, "This is my friend Nelson. He's a challenger," as if we haven't been watching the show for the past 10 years. That was good. And then both of them, they both cried, right?
Mm-hmm.
During this phone call.
Yeah.
They both cried, and Corey, they showed the montage. Corey ends up using Nelson in the confessional and, like, during the elimination as, like, his motivation, right next to, like, his own children. He takes off his thing. He's talking about when he's gonna walk. He's at his like, computer. Like, what do you think was happening before Corey calls Nelson there? What's Nelson doing?
I feel like he's just vibing at his house. I mean, first off, the jacket with Nelly T. Who has an LED sign that literally writes Nelly T behind them?
Do you think Nelson has ever paid taxes? Do you think he knows how to like do like the dishes? Does he know how to like take care of like himself? Like I just wish, I don't know, if you gave me the option to just follow around any challenger for like a 24-hour period and see what their normal life is like, I think I'm probably picking Nelly T.
That's a pretty good choice.
I mean, Nelly T is fucking incredible. I hope he comes back.
Can we see?
How could he?
Why not?
He has one leg.
Jordan has one hand.
One leg's a little different.
Yeah, you can strap a prosthetic leg on.
I would love to see it, but
Why not?
Who
because
is
he has one leg.
Who cares?
so Nelly T on one leg? Who is the best competitor that he could beat in a hall brawl?
Josh.
No,
It'd
I
have to
don't.
be, like,
I don't think he's winning that. He
against-
has one leg.
against
One.
anybody.
No,
Yes, he could. Are you
Ammo?
kidding? He could beat
he
Ammo.
has one leg.
I
It
think
don't fucking
I
matter.
think he could beat Ammo.
I
What
think
do you mean? The fact that he has one leg doesn't matter in a hall brawl.
he would get a prosthetic leg.
It's still not a leg.
Jordan has one hand.
I don't think there's a single person he's beaten in the hall brawl.
No, that's delusional. I think he could beat.
he could.
I think he could beat Josh.
I think you guys are you're talking about a guy with one leg
Okay, what
winning
about
a challenge that requires 90% leg strength.
so what if he can
Yeah,
compete?
he's
against-
got 50% one.
Exactly.
what if he can go in a hall brawl against females?
I still think he has one leg.
Who cares?
Have you seen like Nani's cousin? She's 80 pounds. There's definitely people that he could beat.
It would have to be someone like Nani's cousin to give him a shot. And I still think my money would be on her.
No.
It's a fake leg. What happens when the leg falls off? He just falls down? He can't get up and sprint to ring the bell.
Not how it
He
works.
has one leg.
Nelly T could beat Kenny. Casey's brother, that is. Let's clarify. I mean, come on. Yeah,
You guys are insane.
Sounds like Andy's out on Nelly T.
I know. I'm
all
actually
in on
kind of
Nelly T.
It's
upset.
kind of sad.
Very sod.
I'm all in on Nelly T. But to think that he could beat anyone in a hall brawl is crazy.
We didn't.
Yeah. And Jordan to beat somebody in a rope pull with one hand is impossible. Okay.
Yeah, but he beat him in terms of brains.
Okay.
How do you beat someone in brains in hall brawl?
Maybe he jumps over him. I don't know. Yes, Adam Mitas. I've seen the guy with the one arm in college basketball. His windmill, I think he did it against Butler, was kind of nasty. Champs first stars.
God.
Tommy, I'm just picturing Bananas bringing him in during the next season of Champs first.
Charity.
I mean, that was the most absurd moment in challenge history.
We're not getting into that.
He didn't want to go to elimination, so we literally brought a Special Olympics kid in. I mean,
Wait,
how desperate do
explain.
you have to be?
Explain?
You don't remember that?
I don't watch that Champs for Stars trash.
Alex, can we please tell the story?
No, I'm not telling the story.
All right. I'll tell the story. All right. So this was this Champs for Stars or Pros?
I don't know. I think stars.
Champs for Stars. You know, they're all playing for charity. Bananas charity is Special Olympics. So it's a guys elimination day. And Bananas knows he's pinned against the wall. Like he's probably going into elimination. He's going to get voted in after the daily. Well, on the daily, the only person all season to bring in somebody from their charity, he brings in like a Special Olympics kid during the daily so they wouldn't vote him in.
I think Wes called him out for it.
That can't be real.
Yes. I mean, just bananas. Oh.
Wow.
All right. So where were we? Were we talking about Corey's college football career?
Let's go to the elimination.
All right. What do you got, Alex?
All right. So elimination, pretty straightforward. Rachel picks Corey. So it's Josh, Corey in a I don't even know, like not a hall brawl, but you're running somebody on offense, somebody on defense, and basically defense has a shorter track, but they also have an obstacle. So they're trying to like get to the shared area, the common area before the offense tackle them. And then if they get the bell, they get a point. If the defense knocks them out, they get a point. I actually really liked the format of this elimination. It sucked that Josh was so bad at it, but like I wouldn't mind seeing this against like 2 A+ competitors. I actually really like the format. I think Josh was just like he was just always going to suck.
Who would you want to see? If you could pick all time, we'll just say all time. Any 2 people in this. We'll start off with females and then we'll go to male.
I would say Cara. I know you said all time, but I'm still thinking just this season. I would say Cara and Tori.
I'll one up you from this season, Laurel and Emily. People forget they were both on this season. But Cara and Tori is a great answer.
No, I actually like both of those options. The one person that I would like to see in this, because they claim, oh, I played football and I was so damn good, is Casey. Yeah.
Yeah.
That I don't care. Throw her against any of the 4 people that you said. That's fine. But she always talks about how good she was at football. Would love just to see it.
True.
We could just play defense on all 4 people. Like we could just have them just go in a little banana snake.
All right. What about guys?
Well, I would want to see Andy versus Fezzi.
Sign me up.
You would get killed by him. You know, he played football at the University of Tennessee. He would murder your ass, Andy.
Yeah, he got as much playing time as Corey did.
Oh, come on.
I think my GOAT matchup for this would be Kenny v. Jordan.
Ooh.
We never saw any Kenny Jordan overlap, but that would be very interesting.
Interessante. Alex?
I kind of like Jordan versus Corey.
Ooh.
I think this elimination, again, it's hard to say because Josh was so bad at it, but I think this elimination is probably like, if you were to build an elimination that's like best suited to Corey's like strengths, whatever you want to say they are, this was probably pretty damn close to it. And so I think like, I'm not like, cause you know, usually you pick like the Hall of Fame, you know, names that you'd want to see in a matchup like this. And Corey's not one of those names, but I feel like this is like the best thing that he would excel at. And so I think like him versus Jordan would be a very interesting matchup because Jordan is probably going to be a favorite just because he's better in general. But this is like the best thing Corey could get going against Jordan.
I like your thought process. Let me throw this curveball at you. What does it look like if it's Corey v. Fezzi? Football v. football.
Well, I got a better football person too to throw out there.
Tyree?
No. Any of those 4. Again, I'll do the whole Casey thing. What about Marlon? In his prime.
In his prime.
I mean, he was like an All-American at Texas Tech.
Marlin? Like from Jordan and Marlin?
Yes.
But wasn't he only on one season?
He's good, though. I mean,
I was just thinking, like, when you say in their prime, like, I think, like Bananas in his prime was.
Yeah, that's 20 seasons in his prime.
Yeah, it's just smirky to hear, like, someone who was in their prime who just has gone on to live a perfectly normal life. But it's like, we only got one season of him. What do you mean in his prime?
I meant more of his college prime. I mean, he was like an All-American.
He was good.
He sounds good.
Him and Jordan were a phenomenal team.
I'm just saying, Marlin during this, like, he was a linebacker, I'm pretty sure, at Tech.
He was good.
God, let's pull up those stats. I'm actually pulling that up. You guys keep going.
Enough on what this hypothetical on the best matchup for this elimination.
Enough pulling up stats tonight.
Tommy, you got that stat.
The stat department's working hard tonight.
All right. So what do we think about what do we think about like the Josh versus Corey? What happened tonight?
So real quick, Marlin. He played every single game in 4 years. Every single game as a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior.
At Texas Tech?
Texas Tech. He played in every single game. He had 53 solo tackles his senior year. He had 50 solo tackles. He forced 2 fumbles in his career. He had 1 pick in his career. It's pretty damn good.
That is good.
I know. I want to see. He was all Big 12 conference, first team honorable mention. All right, enough of the stats.
What was his 40 time?
Oh, come on. I don't have his 40 time.
Yeah, what did you guys think about Corey versus Josh?
I mean, what's there to say? I mean, Josh couldn't even jump over hay.
Say anything.
He couldn't even jump over hay. It was over before you even watched the thing. I mean, Josh is the most unathletic person to ever was ever on our TV screens in challenge history. I mean, I hate to say it, friend of the program, he stinks.
It was kind of like watching like a minivan, like an old minivan, like a Chrysler old minivan that has to go over a speed bump, and like you have to like creep over it because otherwise it could just destroy the whole car. Where it speeds up a little bit and then it's like, oh nope, we got a speed bump here. And we just have to slowly go over it. And then by the time he's over the hay, Corey's already ringing the bell. I mean, it was just embarrassing.
I think if the goof would have ran around, he still would have lost.
Yes. It was a bloodbath.
It was. So let's do Josh on defense. So when he's running the shorter thing, and he like by the time he had gotten to the hay bales, Corey had pretty much already caught up to him, right?
Yo, it was over. Yeah, it wasn't even close.
And so then he has to actually the first round he tried like kind of jumping them and then just totally tripped. And then the second time he tried kind of doing like I'm gonna like prop myself up and like swing my legs around, and then they flash back and Corey's like already at the bell.
It honestly looked like 2007, 2018, 2023 Derrick Henry versus the Colts. That's what it seemed like.
Well, and let's not overlook him on offense. Like Corey smoked him to get past the wall and then just pushed him. Like there wasn't a fight. He literally just like got over the hay and then just pushed him out. And it was like, all right, Corey wins.
Josh like would have had a better shot, especially after the first round when he knows that Corey's already like cooked him. Josh would have had a better shot like going all the way up to the end of his like offense track, but like not running or not even sprinting or anything. Just like walking up there and then trying to like, get a full head of steam and like go. Because the way he was doing, like he was just like running as fast as Josh can run. and Corey's just fucking there waiting for him, has the angle, and just like pushes him to the side. He should have just like fucking stood there and just like fucking like, tried to get low and just like bully himself to the ring or to the bell. And he just like, I mean, he's a goof for a reason.
We never got it tonight, but like if Corey would have tackled him, would the clock stop or like end of the round, or like is it like until you push someone outside?
Based on Corey's description going into the first round, it seemed like he had to push him outside of the room.
Yeah.
And that's what was interesting is like you really couldn't tell how things were going to go until the second round happened, because the first round it like went how it was supposed to, where like they both got through the wall at a similar time, and then Corey just like was able to push him out. So then it's like, all right, it's easier for the defense. Let's see how Josh does. And then Corey just rang the bell before Josh was past the hay and was like, oh no. This is not good.
I do like kind of a subtle thing in the scoring. I liked how whether you were on offense or defense, you could score. And it was just first to 4 points, which is probably pretty similar to like a best of 5 on each side or best of 3. But I feel like it's kind of annoying sometimes in like a balls in where it's like, this person against this person, but, they're also on offense versus defense. You have to like kind of keep track of like 4 things. This is just like, hey, we're doing this. Either of you guys can win on each given round, and first person to 4 points wins. I like that part.
Yeah. So,
Agreed.
like we said, Corey picking up the win over Josh. The goof cries for what? His 3rd time this episode?
The hat trick.
The hat trick hero. Throw the hats out. Yeah, I mean, and that was kind of the episode. And then we talk about who Corey throws in now. Corey throws in Jenny, Aviv, Michelle. Thoughts on that, Alex? Those 3 people. I think it was pretty chalky, but thoughts?
I agree. Ginny, Michelle, Aviv. I mean, really, like, there's 6 girls left. You can't choose Rachel. Tori's kind of been, his like ride or die for a few years or whatever. I don't know. It's just, yeah, I don't really know. To take your words, Trev, I don't really know what else to say.
Andy?
I just don't really know what else to say.
All right. Moving on. Anything else from tonight's episode?
No, we're getting close.
You do not want to go home now. That's all I can say. All right, segments. What do we got tonight?
We got a little This Day in Challenge History. You guys, this was not done last week.
It was not.
So we're going to do a little double up.
Oh.
Although the first one isn't really a trivia question, so I guess not a full double up.
Okay.
But on This Day in Challenge History, 6 years ago, this is not the trivia question, but just an incredibly important challenge moment. Ashley stole $1 million.
Wow.
Ooh.
It's a big one.
I mean, that's crazy.
6 years since. No, they haven't like done. Nobody's pulled that off since then. What do we think about that? Just kind of reflecting back.
Take the money and run?
Like Ashley doing it to Hunter.
I mean, first off, it was for $1 million. Fucking nuts. The way she did it, though, it was so different than Bananas. And I kind of like the way Ashley did it. She just said it was the biggest double bird in show history. And it literally, correct me if I'm wrong, was that Hunter's last season too? It ended Hunter?
Yes.
No. No, remember they did the very next season.
And he threw her in right away.
He beat her in elimination.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So next,
Well, one last piece on that front. Bananas set up the whole take the money and run. Love it. As I've always said, maybe one of the biggest moments in the history of mankind. And then Ashley does that. And then we're going down this path of like, oh, baby, it is challenge is cutthroat. You do not want to make enemies, cross anyone, yada, yada. But then you have like CT and Casey throwing money at people. And then I think Devin and Tori did as well. And it's just like it's like the stupid mini games in Mario where you win and then like they just throw a little coin out to whoever finishes third or fourth. Like, come on. You're either a winner or you're a loser. That's it. That's what, like, we have to go back 6 years to get a taste of that. It's just sad. It'll be interesting to see what happens this season, though. I swear, if we get another sort of Bananas wins and they have the opportunity to split it or something, and he just that would be incredible.
Alex.
Yeah, I mean, times have changed. Thankfully, I think in the Jamboree version, they don't do the toss the coin back anymore.
No, they definitely do.
We'll look into that.
Second and third definitely get coins.
Yeah, but it's predetermined.
Yeah, like before it starts.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
It's still soft.
It is soft, but back in the day, it was like Toad would just kind of toss one back there. You didn't know if it was going to third or fourth.
Alex America. Sorry.
All right. Next, this day in challenge history. The first part.
Turbo.
Not going to be a trivia question because it would be too easy to guess, but it kind of leads into the actual trivia question. So, November 20th is a big day for Josh because this is the second time he's lost an elimination. He lost 5 years ago to Jordan in the tug of war. An all-time elimination. I honestly think that one is still one of the more underrated performances. But the trivia question is, on that episode when Jordan beat Josh, what two challengers got purged in the daily? Male and female.
What was the season?
War of the Worlds 2.
Nani?
No.
Turbo.
Nelly T?
Oh,
Not on that season.
Mike Boy.
It was really, I think, the only purge on War of the Worlds 2.
Joss and Sylvia.
People are circling it. Joss is right.
Perfect.
Georgia?
No.
I don't know. That season's a blur.
She had a little bigger presence than Sylvia, I would say.
BT?
No.
Oh,
Lisa?
No. She only did like 2 or 3 seasons. She was kind of bad, though. There we go. Tsunami. It was Kaylee.
She was not bad.
There's some pictures surfacing. Joss and Kaylee got purged on the same episode that Josh lost the tug of war to Jordan.
There we go.
Yeah, check that out.
Is the delay that bad? All right. What else we got tonight?
All right. MVP, LVP.
What about Radar Watch?
This could be one of the last times.
Yeah, we got to keep doing Radar Watch.
Okay.
I'll go Kylan.
Oh, that's a great pick. I'm going to do somebody who was they were kind of in tonight's episode a lot, but like throughout the entire season, I have not seen them at all. I'm going Carl.
Dumb. But good pick.
This is why we can't do race.
I'm gonna go with Ginny.
Good pick.
Good pick.
All right, MVP, LVP time. You guys know what to do. Order of tonight. First order we get in the chat will be the order. Oh my God, Mikey the Doctor. How fast was that? He's got that lightning. Wi-Fi.
Wait, was that pre MVP LVP though?
It was. I got the chat off first by 0.1 second, according to mine. I'm at 22:36:00. He's at 22:36:01.
That's awesome.
Wow.
All right.
So
There it
Alex,
is.
MVP, who you got?
I'm very glad that Mikey was quick with the trigger. Glad I got the first MVP pick. I'm going Corey.
Ooh.
Corey was just like, this episode was the Corey episode. And I feel like we had already had maybe one or two Corey episodes, but we had him not winning it daily, which he never does, and kind of pleading his case. He's going against Bananas, and he's always kind of second or third fiddle to Bananas. He goes into elimination because of that. He's talking about all of his kids. I guess there's 3 kids now, which was kind of funny because at one point he kind of forgot the third one's name and then said it like a half second later. He had the FaceTime with Nelly T. Like, it was just the most like Corey-y thing. He has the elimination. He does it. He was like spitting out his elimination record at least 4 different times. It was 2-0, 2-0. And then I think after he won, he said at least twice, like, I'm 3-0 now. I've done 3 eliminations this season. Like, and that's like the exact thing you would expect from Corey. So I just think this episode, a lot of this season, but definitely this episode has been like a great representation of who Corey is. So he's going to get my MVP tonight.
Great pick. Great pick.
Good pick, but Corey sucks.
God, before I pick my MVP tonight, little Pluto playback. I see Zach screaming because he's cramping right now up the mountain on Free Agents Finale right now. Laurel just saying, hey, can we just finish so I can keep going? But just wanted to throw that out there.
And now she quit this season.
I know. Crazy.
Laurel sucks.
We'll get into that in the season recap. I think the MVP tonight is pretty easy, and it's got to be Corey's best friend, Nelly T, for making an appearance tonight. I mean, I thought that was just a chalk pick, and I'm surprised Alex didn't take it. I mean, the fact that he appeared on our screen tonight, I went from 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock so fast. It was crazy. Like, he is the man. He will be back on the challenge. He could beat Andy in a hall brawl. I believe in Nelly T. I stand with Nelly T. Scuba Nelly till I die. The end.
Wow. Great pick.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Great pick.
Chattanooga.
Question the logic. Okay. I'm still stuck with one of my top picks.
Oh.
One of my top 3.
Oh. Wait, what?
I'm gonna go Johnny Bananas.
Oh God.
Because, so hear me out, because there's actually some logic to this.
He's had enough.
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. This was, so like last episode, I gave it to him without watching the episode because it seemed like even though the spotlight wasn't on him, he was still making it on him, which after watching the episode was very much the case. The reason he's getting it tonight is this was the culmination of Bananas Angels. Like, Bananas made the Angels because he picked 3 of who he thought were the strongest females in the cast. And that was like 4 or 5 weeks ago. And what has happened since then, even though he's been put at risk and he's gone into elimination, he has still backed it up when he needs to. But now is the point where the numbers are dwindling. Every elimination, every daily is massive. And his strongest females are still alive. And Rachel won the daily and kept him safe. There's a reason there's a reason that Michelle was not a bananas angel or that Tori was not a bananas angel. Like, he was picking the best females that he thought were there, and it's paid off. And when you get to this last episode or two before the finale, you need people who are still there. And that's what Bananas has done. So give me Johnny Bananas, keep the streak alive. I now have multiple streaks going on that are still active. This is just Bananas doing Bananas things. Top 3 seasons of Johnny Bananas of all time. Give it to me.
Wow.
So one question and one kind of just confirming your logic. So first is you're basically saying he wasn't, he didn't win an elimination. He wasn't in an elimination, but he had just kind of built up a strong enough foundation over the past 12 episodes to where Rachel's in charge. Guess whose back Rachel has? It's Bananas.
Correct. This was a nod that my MVP pick for Bananas was a nod to his social game that had put him at risk over the last 3 to 4 weeks. But this was why he did it. Okay.
Makes sense. Good pick. My question, and this is to both you guys in the chat maybe. So you said, Bananas is on a crazy MVP streak this season, and I think deservedly so. And you said that he's had a top 3 Bananas season. When do we start talking about a top 1 Bananas season?
If he wins it all. Exactly. If he gets the ring, I think it's number 1.
Just from okay. I mean, I can see that as a great possibility because if you're looking back at season 40, and let's say he's won it, he has the ring. He won at least 2 eliminations on the way to doing so. And he actively made the season about himself.
Yes. And it's very rare that you have someone like if I think about a Wes strategic game, a good Wes strategic season means he never goes into the eliminations. Maybe he does once. That's it. Bananas, the way that he set things up when the game went to individuals, he decided I'd rather put a target on my back now to help my chances right before the final because I know I can beat the people that are there now and I can trim the fat myself so that way when there's no more fat to trim, I will have numbers on my side. A lot of other people said, let's get numbers right out of the gate, even if it was shitty numbers, just to have numbers, and they just got picked off like flies. Bananas was open to saying, my strategy for this is put the target on my back for the first 6 weeks because I know what it's going to pay out. And it has happened perfectly. And it's a ballsy move to do that.
Yeah.
Agree.
Seems like Tommy Tsunami's not a fan with your pick, but we'll get into that Rivals 4 between you two. It's cool.
Tommy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
You know what I bulge at the most is Tommy not knowing the streak, him thinking the other streak is Banana streak, and he has a streak now of how many episodes in a row of him not knowing the streak. So we just got 3 streaks now. How many chat, excluding Tommy, Mikey, and that entire group, Ryan McCord, how many episodes can we go without Tommy knowing what the streak honestly is, or another streak? I think we're at 3 episodes now. Actually, my bad. Not 3. 3. God. All right, LVP, Andy, who you got?
Is it me?
Yes.
My LVP is pretty easy. I'm done with Josh. I'm done with him. This was the most Joshy-y Josh episode of all time. Stick a fork in him. He's done. This was the culmination of everything we've seen from Josh on the challenge. He hasn't gotten better. He's arguably gotten worse. His political game is he's friends with everybody, but he doesn't make alliances. He cries all the time. I'm just done with Josh. I'm not like angry at him, you know. He was still entertaining at times, but I've seen enough Josh on my TV. I don't think he belongs on the challenge anymore. Hats off to you. You've had a below average challenge season or career. Call it quits. This was a terrible Josh season.
Will he ever be back?
I'm sure he will.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing else going on.
Doesn't
They
he
shouldn't bring him back.
Doesn't he do like boxing or something? Wasn't he on like a event with Fezzi or something?
I think it was like a 3-on-3 basketball.
That's how it was?
I think so.
Well, Andy, correct me if I'm wrong. Did you go on one of the Fezzi and Josh's cruises back in the day?
We've seen the pictures.
I think there's a picture of Andy with a headband or something like that. I'll look for it. I'm sure it's somewhere. But well, my LVP, I know we technically can't pick the same thing. Is the goof eligible for LVP?
Come on, Tsunami.
I'm messing. My LVP tonight is going to be Tori. I think this was a big night for Tori because now the ball for her, I just feel like she's not in a good spot in this game anymore. She's losing people left and right. She looked terrible during this daily. I know she didn't get thrown into the targets. I'm looking at it in the long run. And I just don't see her. Like, this would have been a great one for her to win again, to throw in Johnny. And she just didn't deliver tonight. So I'm going Tori.
I agree with part of your logic. And the only part that I agree with is the being able to throw in bananas, because I think that's very valid. And I get where you're coming from of her numbers kind of dwindling. She's not in a great spot. However, we're so close to the finale. I think if she can survive one, maybe two more eliminations, she's in the final. And we already know she's not a target next week. So realistically, if she can just survive one more target elimination round, she's in the final. So I get where you're coming from, but I really don't think it impacts her that much.
But who's her strongest ally right now?
But why does she need a strong ally right now?
I think in the finale, like, if you have an ally, that helps.
In the finale?
In the finale.
Why? So they don't vote you in, even though you're already in the
finale? No. I think working together and stuff like that. I see a world where this becomes very free agents-esque, and it's like the shifting of the partners and stuff like that.
Correct.
I'm just saying.
You need, like, if Bananas is matched up with Tori in a leg of the finale, he's not going to say, I'm going to sabotage this for us.
What if he's already out?
I mean, Alex, back me up here.
I'm just saying.
I get Andy's point because we're just too close to the final that at some point you don't necessarily have time to fire back at anybody who's fired at you.
And Trev, if you want to ask who she has Jordan. So, like, if you want to keep your logic sound, she's got Jordan that, I mean, they were engaged.
Still in love now, but continue.
But that's where, like, I first and foremost, I don't think your argument is valid at all.
What do you mean?
Why? Like, if Bananas and Tori are partnered up for a part of the finale, Bananas is not going to half-ass it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, what if at that point in the game, Bananas is, like, out? Like,
this is a legitimate
10 hours behind.
This is a legitimate question. Has that ever happened?
Banana's been out of the game?
Has anyone ever sabotaged someone in that scenario in the finale? Has that ever happened?
Would it be anything against Bananas. I mean, he took how much fucking money from someone? Like, how do we not know?
But if Bananas is in the finale, he's gonna try to fucking win.
Yeah, but what if he's out by then? What if Jordan's way ahead?
You think Bananas is gonna hang it up?
What do you mean? I think if Bananas is out of it and he knows and he has a chance to sabotage someone else, he would 1,000% do that.
If Bananas has, all right, so your argument is so illogical.
What do you mean?
Why? So in that scenario, Bananas is quote. I think you said 10 hours.
Let's just use the same format as free agents, right?
Okay.
Let's say the last leg, Jordan's already ran with Tori. Let's just use Derek as the second person. Derek and Tori already ran together. And Bananas is the third part. So there's 3 people on each side. And the last pairing is Bananas and Tori. Okay.
Hey.
What happens if Bananas knows he's already out of the first 2? Didn't Cara say she was going to sit on the line like during a daily or during, like doing something again? That's what I'm getting at.
So that's why I'm asking, like in a finale, has anyone ever just sabotaged somebody that they're partnered up with?
Yeah, when you take the money and fucking run.
That's not, no, those are 2 totally different scenarios.
All right.
I'm just saying.
Bananas is going to try to win this ring until he dies.
I understand that. I'm just saying.
Why do they need to be have an alliance?
So my LVP pick.
You gonna go? I mean, Andy shows up for 4 fucking episodes a year and thinks he knows everything. I mean,
why are you roped up?
I'm very roped up right now because he's being a little bitch.
Whoa!
I picked Tori. You pick the same fucking people every fucking week.
Tori Bananas is having a highlight reel of a season.
Tori LVP is a good pick.
She looked terrible.
I agreed with that.
There's nobody on her side.
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
No, I stand by my pick. I mean, I just don't understand. I'm just giving like 4 other reasons.
It's a good pick.
I hope this comes up. I hope some finale someone turns on Tori and fucks her over, and I can go like this, and we can just screenshot this now on Andy.
Roped up.
Fuck you, Eric. Fuck you.
Tsunami's in on it.
All right. Am I up?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. My LVP pick. I think there's no way this can cause
I need a breather.
As much controversy as that last pick. I'm gonna go with Carl.
God, so dumb.
Just fucking annoying. Fuck Carl. I'm out. I'm out on Carl. LVP.
Great pick.
Thank you.
Honestly, I think that should have been top 2 picks.
All right, we're done. We're wrapping this up. Thank you guys. Let's just get the fuck out of here. I'm done with tonight. I'm done. Alex, you can sign us off for the first time. I'm out.
All right. I know it's not happening.
All right. Anything else?
Are we still excited?
No, I'm pissed now.
I know personally I'm fired up. I know Trev's fired up. He's got smoke coming out of his ears. He's fired up. We're getting close. We're getting real close. Now is the time where you want to have a lot of alliances. You want to have a lot of tight relationships.
This is just out of control. All right. We're done.
Alex, I'm fired up.
Anything else?
I mean, I'm excited. I think we're getting close to the final. I think there's a world where we end next episode and TJ has told us that we're in the final, that we're a challenge away, that we're changing locations, very, era 3E. I think it's happening. I think it's happening next episode. Something's changing.
Question. 2-part question. What is the count right now, guys versus girls?
5 guys, 6 girls.
Okay. So after next episode, it'll be level playing field.
Correct.
Do we think there will be one episode before the finale that a guy and a girl, not quite a purge, but get sent home together?
I think that's a possibility. I think after the next girl goes home, I think there's either two routes they can take. One is all 10 people just go to the final. I feel like they kind of bulge at the bigger finals these days, which I don't necessarily like. But I feel like the other way they can go is 5 guys, 5 girls, and maybe it's like we abandon the format, the target, and everything, and either it's like a daily and the last guy, last girl just go home, or it's like the last 2 guys go into elimination, last 2 girls go into elimination, and just or like a luck thing, and they pull cards and like the 2 people go into elimination. Like I think I'm pretty confident that once we get past the next girl elimination, it'll be either the final or something that doesn't look format wise like the past 6 episodes. That'd be my guess.
Like after next episode, a location change, but then before the finale starts, another like full daily, but the last 2 people leave.
Yeah, another something, but it's not like the target. Chambers, like all that stuff, I think is gonna be done.
So have we seen the last Chamber of Secrets?
No.
I think that's next week.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see if Tom Riddle is there or not.
God. All right. Anything else? There is a question. Thanksgiving special stream next week. I don't know. The family's been a little. Maybe we need a little giving with each other right now. I don't know. I haven't heard from these 2 clowns. I'll be back in Indiana. We'll see if that happens or not. Maybe it'll be another solo pod for me. Maybe I'll invite my other family, Mikey the Doctor, Tommy Tsunami, to join. Who knows? We'll see.
I think it's safe to say at least 2 of the 3 will be live in person.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'd agree with that.
Hoping for 3 of 3. I'm all in for everything always for this whole season. Aside from the last couple of episodes.
All right. Anything else from tonight's EP?
I'm good.
You do not want to go home now.
You do not want to go home now. Well, thank you guys for listening to a brand new Stir the Pod podcast. Joe, I'm your host, Trevor. You can follow us on Twitter at Stir the Pod. You can follow us on Instagram at Stir_the_pod. Thank you guys. Love you guys.